And now, Bottom Split Theatre.
Good evening and welcome to Bottom Split Theater. We've got another exciting race in the iRacing Street Stock Series 40-lap race at the USA International Speedway. My name is Michael Derby. With me as always, Alex Abbott. Say hi, Alex.
Hi,
How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and how about yourself?
Excellent. We got an exciting race ahead of us. Let's go ahead and go through this grid here. If you want to go ahead and give us that, Alex.
Yeah. So on the pole tonight is Blair Betts. Starting next to him will be Michael Cooper. In the second row, Travis Sukup and Kleinest LaBeouf. Kleinest and Travis, both veterans and front runners here in the Bottom Split Theater for regular viewers. So looking for a good race out of them tonight. Back on the third row, we will have the number one car of Steve Belge. Starting beside him will be Brent Weisinger. On the next row will be Emmanuel Frimpong with the ping of death. He's had pings near 2K tonight, so that's going to be a wild card in tonight's race.
Indeed.
Starting on the outside of Mr. Bad Ping is Paul Warren. Then we have Annette Kongdong and Christian Gonzalez Alba. That's the fifth row. Then Gavin Graham and Nicholas Dayer. Robert Taylor and Anthony Mazo. And rounding out the field tonight is Robert Ladd 3 in the 15th position. And it doesn't look like Robert is going to be able to make the grid. Something wrong in the tech inspection line, I think. So one last guy we will have starters tonight as we continue to watch the countdown. Pace car should be pulling away. The drivers now have full control. And so we are back at USA International Speedway, which I feel is the more exciting of the two rookie oval tracks, the other being Charlotte. So should see some good short track racing here at the famed USA International Speedway. It's a 3/4 mile speedway, relatively low banked, long straightaways, and still very fast corners. So makes for some great racing. So should be good.
Yeah, indeed. The tightness of the track does make the racing a good bit tighter. I'll use tight twice in one sentence there.
We do 2 warm-up laps here because the short field allow everyone to get good and stacked up. I'm monitoring the drivers' channels, and Blair Betts, talking on the radio, seems to be unsure if the pit wall or other drivers can hear him. So, that's a little bit that can be frustrating. Even though he's starting on the pole, there's little problems. Sometimes enough to, make you lose concentration and maybe make a mistake. So let's see what happens here with him and Michael Cooper. I don't recognize Michael from previous episodes of Bottom Split Theater, but as I mentioned earlier, Travis Sukup and Kleinest LaBeouf are both veterans as well as Blair Betts. So should be pretty good here. Blair Betts says he's going on green. And the green's out. Oh, Blair gets a little nudge from behind. And the 11 car able to just fly off the start there. Great run.
Driving it down into the oval there. I'm not... Oh, he's going into pit? That's...
Yeah, he jumped the start, I believe. I think he beat the leader back to the start-finish line. You cannot do that. So now working lap 2, 5 car looking inside the 7. That's the 5 car, Travis Sukup. Travis racing out of Florida. There we go. Travis Sukup into the lead. Blair Betts saying he wants to take it easy here in the early going. So Sukup taking advantage of that. Ooh, Betts very close to the wall. I think he might have got a little 0x type of contact there. A nice high entry by Betts, leaving Blackies all the way through the entrance. Love the technique.
Meanwhile, Kleinest LaBeouf goes ahead and moves up into second position there.
Yeah, Kleinest, another favorite here. Kleinest races out in the Mid-South Club. So Kleinest and Travis both showing quite a bit more speed than the rest of the field here in the early running. Blair Betts now fighting back on that last lap. Kleinist with a little bit, getting a little out of the groove there on the exit. Betts having a look down the inside and making nothing doing there. All right, as our 5 car continues to build a gap, I think the 7's going to have a look here. No, 7 continues to try to work in that high line. He's got a really high entry into 1, higher than the rest of the field, but Blair's a veteran. He might know something these other guys don't. All right, so Travis Sukup, still our leader, starting to walk away a little bit. Ooh, Kleinist very high on the exit.
Yeah, using all the track there.
Corner. Yeah, I have to believe that's slowing him down. Blair Betts on the unfamiliar, but he's on the inside line. You got to pass him where you can. Held up a little bit there in corner. Actually, good to see nice, clean racing here in the bottom split theater. Something we don't always see. Speaking of which, I don't think we saw any contact coming to the green tonight, which that's another rarity.
Indeed. We usually do get a good bit of tangling up right after that green flag going into turn 1.
Woo! Travis Sukup, 24.012 that last lap. Second place, 24.8. Third place, 24.8. So they lost 8/10 that last time by with this side-by-side racing. Sukup's just going to walk away if they don't get lined up here. All right, and that's what the 9 car does. He slots right back down, and Blair Betts continue to look on. All right.
We'll keep an eye on the gap for them for between first and second and third there.
Yeah, Betts talking to his spotter, asking him to tell the 9, to work with him. The 9 gets in the wall, then the 7 in the wall, the 3 in the back of the 7. That allows the 11 to slip by. That's Michael Cooper. I believe he must be a lap down. Yeah, he had to pit there in the early going.
We just watched the number 3 slide into the wall there. As Kleinist LaBeouf goes into the wall again.
Yeah, I have to believe he adjusted the handle, and maybe not in a good way, when he tried to knock down the turn 4 wall there a lap or 2 ago. But Blair Betts taking over second position here as Travis Sukup working the lap traffic out front. But our best battles right here for second. Kleinist LaBeouf. Looking on, right in his tire tracks, right up to his bumper. Maybe that message was received. Just a minute ago we heard Betts talk to the 9 car, tell him to stay in line. Let's work together here. Looks like the 9's trying to help him down the track by bumping him, helping him go a little quicker. Yeah, probably thinking, if you don't get moving, Betts, I got to go.
Yeah, neither car is looking particularly worse for the wear after that little incident earlier, so it seems like they're able to keep up the pace. In fact, they actually ran a little bit faster than Travis on that last lap.
Well, maybe this technique of the 9 pushing the 7 is working. The 11 is continuing to stay right there with him, but he's really paying for that penalty from the early going.
Yeah, he's a lap down now, so it's going to be tough for him to make any of that back. We do still have 28 laps to go, but it's a lot of time to make up.
He's racing Kong Dong up ahead here, so I think Cooper can get Kong Dong by the end. Looks like he's got the pace of the leaders. Oh, and the 9 gives him another shot to the back of the 7 here. It'll be 26 to go next time by, so we're approaching the halfway point here. Still need to save your tires. Oh, and the 9 with big wiggle. Oh, 9 hard into the wall. Have to believe he's just a little too aggressive there. Got a bit of oversteer. Went to correct it. A little too much correction. Slid up into the wall. Let's see if he's able to hold on to his podium spot here, Kleinist LaBeouf.
He definitely has a little bit more damage now, but he's only 1.4 seconds back, so he can make up that
here
time.
We go, the 7 car. Blair Betts with a self-spin right into the front stretch wall. And then Betts pulls back onto the traffic and does a little double move A la Max Verstappen to try to block the one as he comes by, then up in front of the two, and now back down in front of the two. He's no rookie. Well, he may be a rookie. No, but Betts is no longer a rookie. He is D class.
I'm sorry.
But Betts is a veteran here of this series. He knows all the tricks.
He just went down onto the apron there and spun himself around.
Betts just got in the wall in the front stretch. So now back in the fifth position, Betts needs to just calm down here. He's got a position to race for, one in front, one behind. He's racing the 1 and the 2 car here. He needs to gather it up. We're just about halfway. Still a long way to go here. He can get this back. We've seen Betts win races before. All right, back up at the front. Travis Sukup starting to really walk away with this one with over a 5-second lead now over Clinus LaBeouf. Clinus still able to hang on to the second position.
He's still turning good lap times.
Trouble.
Yeah,
so
the whole field is turning about the same lap time. 24 is a few 25s there. It looks like Michael Cooper has gotten by Annette Congdon for position.
Yep, and Cooper is the fastest car on the track right now, or last lap. So, shame. It would have been really interesting to see what kind of race he could have gave Travis had he not jumped the start there in the beginning.
What if indeed?
But Betts was really slow to go there, and I think that's just maybe one of the mistakes you make here in the developmental leagues, right? You know, that's one of those lessons you need to learn.
That's right. Those are the tough lessons too when you do some damage to the car.
Yeah, or damage your hopes at a good day. So
that's right.
I don't think he'll forget that soon.
We got 3 drivers pretty close right here. The number 2 of Christian Gonzalez Alba. Say Christian Gonzalez Alba and Steve Belge and Paul Warren 2 are all real close to each other.
Yeah, and Blair Betts has been able to get past the 1 car. The 2 was also able to follow him on through. Be interesting to see here if the 1's able to fight back or if he's just worn out his tires.
He's turning
top 2 I-rating drivers though.
Yeah, he's turning some of the slower lap times though.
The 6 had a bit of an oversteer moment, but just was able to slow it down. Didn't hit anything. Continuing on. So, we thought Cooper might be out of this, but he's running down Warren. It's 6 seconds. It's 6 seconds and 17 to go. I think he might get him.
We'll keep an eye on that. Now it's down to 5 seconds. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. It's 5.7.
Yeah. He's working on him. Blair Betts on the radio, calling his shot, saying he's coming for Brent.
He's got to make up 4 seconds. See if he can do that.
Yeah, Brent is I have equally, to believe our top 2 are pretty safe here.
That's right. Brent is only 3 seconds down from Kleinest. We have, 3 seconds and 4 seconds, and then another second back to Christian Gonzalez. But
if Kleinest has a spin, I get another spin, I should say. Anything's possible. Oh, speaking of getting out of the groove there, the 12 high up in the turn 4, but able to pull it back down. So here we go. We're coming to 14 to go. Let's go one more time through the field and set it up for the showdown here. We have Travis Sukup. He's our leader. Travis, very clean race so far. And he's been able to just kind of walk away. Next, we have Clinus LaBeouf. He's in the 9-car Budweiser-sponsored car. And he's had a pretty good run. Just one mistake we've seen so far. Then back in third, we have Brent Weisinger. Haven't talked much about Brent tonight, but he's kept his nose clean and been able to move up through the field. Then we go on back to Blair Betts. but Blair Betts has lost that position in the last lap, and Blair Betts attempting to make it onto the pit road, misses, almost hits the end of the pit road, decides to tow. So our new fourth place car, Christian Gonzalez Alba, still being followed in fifth place by Steve Belge. That's our lead lap. Then next lap down, we have Paul Warren. Paul Warren just now getting passed by Cooper. So this is a race for position here. Cooper been very fast tonight. I'm not sure that Warren has anything for him. I think Warren is just going to have to hold on and try to stay ahead of Kongdong.
Yeah, well, Cooper was our pole sitter. No,
Yeah.
second on the grid, right?
Yeah, front row. Yeah, if he was the pole sitter, he wouldn't have got the penalty.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, this is a pretty good battle.
Well, it does look like that Michael Cooper is pulling away from the number 6 of Paul Warren. He was about a half a second faster that previous lap. So I imagine he's going to just extend that lead. Our leader is 6.5 seconds up the road from the number 9 of Clinus LaBeouf.
Yeah, he's Clinus has called a little bit of that back in the, in a corner here and a corner there, and then he'll have a bad corner and he'll lose all of his gains. So, yeah, overall been a net loss the last couple laps there for LaBeouf, but this lap he's charging back. So, I guess anything could happen if Travis has trouble, but we haven't seen any hint of that so far tonight.
No, he's been turning real consistent lap times.
The gap's opened up there between second and third. Weisinger still in a strong podium position, but really not able to do anything with LaBeouf. But, we knew coming into this race, Sukup and LaBeouf were going to be a couple of the favorites. So Belge, I think he's just really worn the good out of the tires as he's getting ready to go a lap down to our leader here.
Yeah, he's been consistently getting slower and slower. But maybe he ran those tires off real early in the race trying to compete.
Yeah, and his car I don't see any scrapes on it, so he's doing a good job keeping it out of the wall. And maybe this is all it's got in it right now. So just get a nice clean finish. If you lose one position, at least you didn't lose the car.
That's right. We'll watch our leader see if he can reel him in and put him a lap down there.
Kongdong still running?
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting caught up by the number 2 of Christian Gonzalez Alba.
Ooh, yeah, it's shutting the door there. But drifting up high, I think the two would have been a little more patient there. Probably could have got it done that time by.
See if he can make that move into this turn.
I think he's learned his lesson. Much slower entry, slow in, fast out. He watched the two slide up the track. Now they're side by side. He can do it one more time here. A little slow entry here. Let the two go sliding up into the marbles, and then point it and drive it off. See, he's back in the throttle way sooner than 12. It allows him a much higher top speed at the end of the straightaway. Ooh, there the two got in a little deeper than he had the last couple times, but that's right about the normal pace that they run. So instead of an extra slow entry, it was more normal speed, but still, that was textbook.
Yeah, he knew he could track out cleanly there.
Yep. That was textbook pass by Christian Gonzalez Alba. And if that doesn't sound like an oval racer, I've never heard one.
We should be getting the white flag here as we watch our leader Travis Sukup come around to the start-finish line.
Yep, one more time by for Travis Sukup out of Florida. Travis was able to get around the one car.
Yeah, it does look like the rest of the field is kind of lessened off the pace a little bit.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see a pass for position here. I think the 11 just behind our leader is going to make a move here on the 1, and he does. He's able to dive under there and turn 3 and 4 and get one more position. And Travis Sukup's our winner, but great recovery drive by the 11 car of Michael Cooper. Second place tonight, Clinus LaBeouf. Then Brent Weisinger. And rounding out the lead lap, our man from Iberia, Christian Gonzalez Alba. So, what do you think? What do you think of the racing we saw tonight, Derby?
A pretty good racing tonight. I was surprised that there was as few incidents as there were. Some drivers were, trying to get a little pushy, but you kind of expect that and hope for that, right?
Right, yeah. I think we saw some really great racing. I know some of you fans tune in to see the crashes, but we're here to see the good racing, and that's what we saw tonight. It was good and clean. Short tracks, things are going to happen. Some, little push and shove, and but I didn't see any intentional crashing, and I think it was great racing. So yeah, congratulations again to Travis Sukup.
Well, that's right. Well, all right, we're going to go ahead and take a small break here. We'll get back with you in just a few minutes with another race in Bottom Split Theater. We'll be right back.
Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
All right, welcome back to race 2 in Bottom Split Theater tonight. We've got the Dirt Car Street Stock Series here at Lanier National Speedway. We're going to be doing 20 laps of this track. Let's welcome back into the booth Alex Albert.
Hello.
Let's go ahead and get this grid underway here. You want to go ahead and give us that?
Right, so we have our pole sitter, Oliver Cordell. Starting next to him will be George Curtis. In the second row, we have Kyle Buffington and Tanner Cook. Third row, we'll see Stephen Pickett and Robert G. Buffington. Our fourth row will be Brad O'Neill and Dwayne Debris. In the final row will be Ed Brown and Richard Brown. So I'm not sure, but Ed and Richard, a couple of Browns, and we also have a couple of Buffingtons. So it might be fair to say this is a bit of a family affair here tonight.
Yeah, it could be a family night out at the track.
Hey, I think it is. And what better place to bring your family for a nice evening than the dirt track? So, should see some good racing here tonight. This is about a 4/10 mile dirt clay oval. It's a resurfaced version of the famous Lanier Oval down in Georgia. So, should see 2 pace laps here. The drivers now under control of their cars. And the pace car decides to pull away.
They were really eager for that pace truck to get out of there. Ready to race as we watch the number 7 already getting sideways on the pace laps.
Well, we didn't pay to, see him sit there on the grid. Time to get her done, as they say.
Fair enough. All right, should be getting 2 pace laps here. I think the pace truck just turned his siren lights off, so we'll be getting underway here in just a moment.
Hope we see another great race like we did in the first race of the night at the paved USA Oval. Now we're here with the dirt street stocks, and we should see our truck pull off. And there's the green. Our leader takes him down to turn 1.
Some conflicting lines there.
Whoa, yeah, a couple cars come together. The 5 and the 1 come together. The 5 up into the wall, but our leaders, the 7 and the 4, are able to get away. Oliver Cordell and George Curtis. Oh, and there's the 2 car up high. Looks like maybe something's broken. He's trying to get down to the pit, trying to let everyone through. Being very courteous. Being very courteous to Curtis. And as the 4 car, speaking of Curtis, there he goes towards the lead. The courteous one, George Curtis, in the 4 car with a power move.
And as you can see on your screen, he just turned the fastest lap of the race with a 17.352. And then does another one faster.
Yeah, I think George Curtis has come here tonight to make a statement. And he's really starting to lay it down here. George working that very, very inner line that's not rubbered in. You can see the middle of the track, very dark. But, oh, there's one sideways all. Thankfully, he was able to get towed out of there just in time. But as I was saying, the middle of the track, very dark and rubbered in. That is where the cars normally run. But the car's been running there all night in the heats and the practice and everything else. So now it's rubbered in. To go faster, the drivers are going to have to look for more traction. And that traction can be found on this fresh dirt, either up above the black strip or down low. But this shorter way around is going to be faster here on the short track of Georgia. So we see the 4 car. Ooh, and the 7 with a bit of an aggressive move.
I think he
gets
just
spun around and then hit by the now second place runner of Stephen Pickett, the 1 car. Tanner Cook was able to slip by without hitting him. And Cordell down to 4th. But Cordell running again here. It's got some damage, but these cars are typically pretty tough, so I have to believe he's going to be able to finish these 12 laps that we have ahead of us here.
Yeah, that's right. Most of those body panels are really just for show.
All right, so back up here with our leader, the 4 car. He's working through traffic. Got the 6 car here in front of him. 6 car
Taking
making
an interesting line through that turn.
Yeah, he didn't do the typical dirt track slide. It was more of an oval type of line. So maybe he's a recent convert from the oval side and just still getting his feet wet with these big slides like our leader is used to. George Curtis, really nice power under the hood tonight, able to get it to stick down there on the bottom and then drive it up off the corner and make some passes.
As he tries to put another car lap down here. That's the
Right there. Robert Buffington.
number
That was
9.
a 2-for-1. I think that's what we call a twofer. That was part of our family affair. That was Buffington and Brownie was going around, the 9 and the 10. So, looking very quick, the 4 car. Let's go back to our field here. We got about 8 to go. In second place is the 1 car, Steven Pickett. Looks like Steve's, about 2.5 seconds back. He's had some good pace, but he's in traffic. Our leader's now in the clear stuff, and it's going to be tough. But anything can happen here.
I think he's struggling a little bit with the handling there too. He's having some wiggles coming off these turns.
And speaking of change of position, we just saw it. Tanner Cook just lost the position to the 7 car. So back in third is now your third place runner is.
The number 5 of Tanner Cook is in third.
But Piggott just fell out of the race.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he must have gotten a spike of lag there.
Oh, man. So.
And then Robert Buffington is coming down pit road.
And Cordell is back in second. So Cordell earlier kind of spun himself out there trying to pass our leader, but he's able to drive back through the field and through a combination of speed and other folks' unreliability, he's back towards the front of this field. But 9 seconds off of our leader, just crossed the line again. George Curtis making another pass on the 3 car. George just got really great power. I have to believe they're doing something in the motor shop and it's working. So
he's got great turn in, great power. He's just driving away from everybody.
Let's see if looks like he's a member of the XRG Sim crew. So that's at XRG Sim. So give them a tweet. Team GRT Race Cars.
Let's ride on board with him for a couple of laps here. We've got 2 laps to go. Let's just ride on him for the rest of the race.
All right, with our leader, George Curtis, he's going to show you how to get it done. Black man, holds the white one out. There's your winner, folks. That's George Curtis. So they continue to battle here to the line. Oliver Cordell is going to come home third. And then
second.
Looks like Tanner. Excuse me. Oliver Cordell second. Tanner Cook able to come home third. And that's our podium and our lead lap. So another great race here in Bottom Split Theater. Seeing a little contact there on the cool down, but I think that might have been inadvertent. Mostly clean racing tonight. Always expect a little bumping and banging at the dirt track.
That's right. I mean, the cars are kind of built for it. They bump into each other. They bump into the walls. It's unavoidable almost.
Right. And really a powerful performance tonight. George Curtis just had way more pace than the rest of the field. And, it's kind of amazing to think he got that far away from them in less than 6 minutes. The race took less than 6 minutes and almost 12 seconds away. So great run, George Curtis.
Indeed. All right. Well, we'll be back at the top of the hour for the third race in Bottom Split Theater. We'll see you again in just a few minutes. everybody. Welcome back to the third race in tonight's Bottom Split Theater. We've got a 15-lap race of the Global Mazda MX-5 Cup at Okayama Short Circuit. I'm going to go ahead and bring into the booth Alex Albert and Tom Ellison. They'll be calling tonight's race for you. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself, Tom?
Thank you, Alex. Doing great. Happy to be here again for another episode of Monday Night Bottom Split Theater.
Yeah, and thank you, Mr. Derby, flipping all the switches, doing all the transitions, working all the buttons behind the scenes. Couldn't do it without you. All right, so let's get a look at tonight's grid. Still a little bit of time left, but let's go ahead and take it from the top there, Tom.
So on pole, we have Mr. Greg Tolson with a 102.655. He's followed up by Humberto Cruz in second place. Third place, the man from Hispano-America, Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez. I'm particularly excited for his actions in turn one this evening. Fourth place, we have Michael Conclanes. Fifth place, Guilherme Silva. Sixth place, Rex Dominguez. Seventh place, Jason Badaglia at gmail.com. Excited for him. Eighth place, Bruno Reyes with a slow lap time. I think he has some problems in qualifying. Then rounding out the grid with the three drivers that didn't set a time, we have Karen Maxson, Brian Bassard, and Oliver Cordell, your number one car.
Yeah, and as the viewers that tuned in earlier might recognize one of the guys on the grid tonight, Oliver Cordell was in the first race of the night at the Street Snucks at USA Paved. So, great to see him expanding out of the oval, coming over here to the road. It's really awesome whenever we have what we like to consider a bit of a crossover episode.
That was a quick flight to get him from USA to Japan in under an hour.
Well, those hyperloops, they're really coming along these days.
It's anything Tesla can't do.
Right. I don't think there is. Actually, I heard it was a bit of a ballistic missile re-entry type of system they're using nowadays. But here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. It can go till 2 minutes, but if all the drivers grid, the lights will go on. We'll keep you apprised of that. Here's some of the drivers going ahead and revving up.
So to remind you, pole sitter number 7 car, Greg Tolson. Next to him, Humberto Cruz. Behind him, Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez, both Brazilian and Hispano-American, sitting in second and third, which often leads to fireworks into the first turn here.
Oh, I believe the cars have been released. I think I saw them. Yep, I hear all the engines coming to sound. There's the
green flag. Oh, and there's a stalled car on the grid. Didn't quite get away there. But Mr. Tolson, strong start into turn one. He's going to take the lead. And there's contact behind him between the two South Americans. But I believe that is Humberto Cruz into second, with Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez into third.
So that was Mr.com that is stuck on the grid there. He's continuing to sit on the grid. I hope the marshals are able to get to him. As we mentioned, we're on the short circuit, not a short circuit, here at the Okayama International Raceway.
Yeah, and not much time to get that car out of the way before the leaders are back onto the main straight. So hopefully the marshals, he's still there, yes. Seems to be having some problem, I think, with the clutch, it sounds like. But he's still there, and the leader is now approaching the final corner, heading onto the main straight. I remain dubious as to what's going to happen.
Yeah, so hopefully the 7's pit wall is talking to him as we see some cars run wide. The 11 wide out of the last turn, spins, able to keep.
Oh, he's away.
Oh, he is away as the cars. Oh
dear. And the number one car there, taken surprise by Mr.com. Late getaway from the grid, and actually managed to turn sideways into the pit wall at the time.
Oh, and Mr.com, okay, we're going to check out a replay here.
Yeah, Mr.com took him about a minute to get away from the line. When he did, he certainly made up for lost time.
Spliff. His livery is
is
marijuana inspired, I would say.
He might just be a gardening enthusiast. We don't know for sure.
Right. Well, I'm going to hedge my marijuana bush against the fact I think he was having a spliff and just a little late to the grid.
Well, he's away now, lap down, but
But he's nice and chill, man.
Yeah, he's
It's
very,
cool. Like
very steady
if you want to
driving.
go by, it's cool, man. Go ahead.
He doesn't seem too concerned about bothering the racing line at the moment, keeping to the inside of the track. But let's catch up with the leaders again. And Greg
Right.
Tolson, our pole sitter, miles ahead at this point from
Over Humberto.
Umberto Ramos. And then the man on the move, Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez in third place, who seems to be embroiled in a bit of a tough battle with Michael Caklanes and Bruno Reyes.
Yeah, I think this is the best battle on the track. This three-way battle for third position here.
Andres here with a little bit of damage, I think, to the rear of the car. That would have been the turn one coming together he had with Humberto as they duked it out for second on the first lap. But not letting that slow him down. He's continued to make a little bit of headway and maintaining a gap of about a second over Michael.
Yeah, the 9 car with a tidy line to the last corner, lining up the 4, getting a little bit of draft there. 2 running a bit wide. Whoa, speaking of running wide, a little farther down the running order, Rex Dominguez with the Baja line through the final gravel pit. Rex out of the California crew. I think maybe he thought we were racing trophy trucks.
Yeah, that was ambitious. That was Brian Bassard there, the number 8 car.
I apologize to the Dominguez squad.
Brian with a little bit of damage to his nose, but not letting that slow him down. Clearly, he's driving the wheels off this car.
So back to this close battle with the 9 and the 2.
Yeah, Caklanes and Reyes here really nose to tail in the battle for fourth place, with Ibanez around 7/10 of a second ahead. We're seeing Reyes really pushing hard to try and close the gap to Caklanes, but I think you'll agree, Alex, in these cars, overdriving is not always the way to make a gap smaller.
No, and it rarely is. It's all about the momentum. With these running wide, he's driving a longer circuit than the other drivers. And when you have limited horsepower, one of the things you want to do is take a very concise line around the racing track. So I think he's kind of wasting time running wide there, but very good on the brakes. The 2 car is Bruno sniffing all over the 9 car's bumper.
He's certainly not lacking in bravery, that's for sure. Eager on the brakes. And he closes up in the first part of the circuit here, but and as I speak, I spoke too soon. Little bit of a spin there.
And it looks like he's been in the Rapido School of Driving when he spun both feet on. No, that doesn't work. When you spin
That's
both feet in,
yes.
But he learned the lesson and executed it there. And you can see why it's important to do that. He kept it out of the barriers, and he lives on to fight another day.
Yeah, and he's rejoined the battle here just behind Bassard, the number 8 car who we saw running wide earlier. This could be an interesting battle here.
All right, so let's go through the field here as we start lap 6 with I'll let you take it, Tom, here.
Absolutely. So in first place, Greg Tolson, our pole sitter, who is commanding a pretty respectable 3.5 second gap to Humberto Ramos. In third place, in fourth, we have Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez. He's about 3.5 seconds behind Humberto. Then Michael Caklanes, which we've just seen, 1.5 seconds behind Andres. In fifth place, new Brian Bassard, profiting from that error from Bruno Reyes, moving up to fifth, with Bruno in sixth, closely behind. I expect there's going to be a tight battle there. Then Rex Dominguez and Guilherme Silva rounding out the runners on the lead lap, and Mr. Gmail.com, Jason Badaglia, 1 lap down, but still manfully making progress in his Gardener's World car.
So a very good battle. I think the best one on the track right now is the 4 and the 9. Your man, the 4 named gentleman from Hispanoamerica, against the California kid, Michael Caklanes.
Yeah,
and here we go.
Caklanes
Michael's
here,
having a look.
Lining up for a pass into turn 1. He's going to be later on the brakes, diving down the inside. Tidy move there.
Oh, very nice.
He
gave plenty of room. The 4 was holding him tight. Oh, and here we go. The 4's coming back. Not able to make it happen.
That was some vintage racing between the 2 there. 9 car judges braking perfectly in Daniel Ricciardo-esque manner. Made the apex, did not run wide. And the 4 named Hispano-American left him just enough room. No more, but just enough. And that's all you need to leave.
Exactly right. And I thought we might see a bit of the dive bomb there, but the 4 car just being very aggressive, taking the racing line here. I think he's going to let his tires rest here for a minute. We still have 8 to go. Coming to the line this time. If he can maybe let the car, just settle in here for a minute, set
It's
up
a
the
long
9
race.
and get him next time by.
Yeah, I mean they've shown their comparable pace to this point, so I think there's no need to go diving in there immediately. He can size up the opponent, work out where he's faster, and then look to make a move in the closing stages.
Yeah, because he knows he can't get away. So he's racing this guy to the end.
And we have a car in the pits. Our favorite Jason Badaglia at gmail.com has pitted.
Oh,
Looks to have a bit of damage, but it's
in the
being
left front
repaired.
there.
It's being repaired, and he's fitting a new set of tires as well.
Oh, well, that's important. I mean, with 8 laps, I guess that last set probably had probably 6 laps on them. So that, yeah, probably a good idea. Let's go ahead and get those off.
You can never be too careful in these long races.
Well, money is no object in the lowest form of racing.
If you're pitting, you may as well put on new tires.
Goes together like hand in glove. And so our leader, Greg Tolson, stretching out his commanding lead here.
Yeah, he's got about 3 or 4 tenths on Umberto per lap. Certainly no need to be pushing unduly. He seems to have the pace and the skill to remain ahead.
Right. And Humberto, the pride of Brazil, still holding on strong to the second step. Gotta love the look of these Miatas. One of the best cars, if not the best ever built.
I think that's generally considered to be the truth, especially amongst the huge ass racing team.
So now, here, this is
Ooh.
a spicy. As we were talking, there's so many Californians and South Americans in this race. We were expecting maybe a spicy taco with a side of gazpacho in this race, and I think it's going to deliver right here with the 4 and the 9. This final step on the podium, 6 to go.
Yeah, we saw Keklanus there getting a little bit out of shape under braking for the hairpin complex. Wondering if his tires are getting a little warm under there, and that may be what Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez has been banking on. He said he's staying in close attendance here.
Yeah, my money's on the 9. I think he's got around and he's starting to inch away. I know the 4 cars, has strong pace, but he just keeps making that mistake coming out of the last corner. And I have to believe that is the most viable passing zone into turn 1. And if you don't get the run out of the last corner, you're just not going to make it happen.
Yeah, on this short track, it really is the only easy place to make a pass if you're a little bit faster than the car ahead. It's a tight track. It's almost kart-like in its confines, and that really makes the exit of the final corner, to use Jeff Tyler's favorite phrase, the most important corner on the track.
Right, because it is the most important. So if you have to compromise all the others for it, that's what I think Jeff would want us to do. But
He would want to
as you
set up
can
a
see,
car.
yeah, the 4 car made a mistake there again. That time not running wide, but almost not going through the corner fast enough. Lost a little bit more time.
Yeah, he's not quite nailed it yet. He seems to be carrying a little too much speed into the apex, and that's compromising his exit. And that's really going to be the best chance he's going to have to get past Keklanus here.
Yeah, but the good news is still has a couple more tries at it. Folks, this is the best battle. We're
Greg
watching
Thompson's
to
still
see
in
if
the lead.
Yep. We're watching our screens. We'll tune you in if we find one. But as we can see there, the 9 right on the limit. And here we go. The 4 closing it up. I think. But he runs wide.
You see, he gets too excited, makes a mistake, and loses the ground that he's previously gained.
Right. It took 3 laps to make that up, and he lost it all in one corner. And so now we have 4 to go. We have enough time for one more move. We have to get it there, and we have to make it stick next time.
Yeah, I think he's got. I think he's going to have one more chance, unless either of them make a mistake. I think he's going to have one more chance to get this final step on the podium, and it's going to be spicy.
And I think outside of a mistake, you have to make that move going into turn 1. They're just too closely matched on pace otherwise. But as we mentioned, this is the short circuit, but there are bumps here in that turn 2-3 complex that will short circuit your opportunity at a good finish. It's
Absolutely.
very tricky through there. Here we go with a bit of a divey line towards the apex. Don't think he was quite close enough, so I don't think you want to compromise your line until the lap you can make the move.
Not yet, but he is appreciably close to this lap as opposed to last. So I think he's definitely getting ready for a pass at some point.
Oh, I think it's this
there you
lap.
go.
And there we go. There we go.
That was perhaps not the place that we would have anticipated him making that move.
But that is the
it's
move
very,
we anticipated him
that's
making.
definitely the result that we were expecting. I think into the final corner that you have a very limited braking zone. There's not really much chance to close up on the car ahead, but that didn't stop Mr. Ibanez putting a nose in there anyway. And, well, he's in third place now.
Right. Well, so we back to the close battles. The 2 and the 9. The 9 got a bit of a punt there, a la Jeff Tyler previously mentioned, but he's going again, and I believe he has the pace advantage over Bruno Reyes. So let's see here with 2.5 laps to go if the 9's able to get back to the 4th position.
Yeah, I imagine Kaklanis there is feeling slightly aggrieved after that move into the final corner from Ibanez. Probably working out if he has any car damage, particularly to both running wide there. I think both these cars are carrying a little bit of damage in various places, which is going to be compromising the handling as we're seeing.
But I think we're going to see another pass for position tonight in the race here,
and that's
or at least a
this.
try for it.
That's why we love this series so much. Is there's close racing constantly.
But he runs wide. Dear. I jinxed him. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. And as they're now falling into club order, we have California, Brazil, Hispano-America, 3 Californians, an Iberian, an Ohio, Buckeye, Mid-South, and Georgia is our club rundown. Biggest mover of the race, Bruno Reyes, up 4 positions from the start. Biggest drop is Guilherme Silva from Iberia. He's down 3 positions from his qualifying.
And he's already disconnected as well. I don't think we'll be seeing any more laps from him this evening.
Well, it's hard to keep your I rating that low if you're going to finish races. So good luck to Mr. Silva.
Up front, still Greg Tolson in the lead, 6.5 seconds ahead of Humberto Cugramos. Solid drive from Mr. Tolson here. Led from the front, hasn't been bested, and just pulled away from the field. It's been an impressive drive.
Yes, it really has. And as the 7 car, he has a bit of an I rating disadvantage to some of these front runners, but he's showing that he loves the Okayama short circuit.
And it's really a true test of man and machine here. It's a circuit where the really great drivers can stretch their legs and prove their worth over the rest of the field.
Right. I mean, what more could you want out of 7 turns and 1.3 miles? It's I would say almost as complicated as Lime Rock, but
Lime Rock at least has a hill.
Yeah, well, definitely one of the jewels of the circuit.
We see here Tolson coming through the final turns.
Yep.
Looking to take the flag.
All right. And so now he can see him coming onto the main straight. Flag him with the white one in the air.
And that's a solid win there from Greg Tolson.
Yep.
Racing out of California. Hampered not by his 190 ping, keeping it steady, keeping it firm, and taking the win. We run down the results here for us, Alex.
Yes, we have our winner, Greg Tolson. Then second, Humberto Krug Ramos. In third, rounding out our podium, Andreas Camilo Guerrera Ibanez. Fourth would be Bruno Reyes. Fifth, Michael Kaklanis. Sixth, Rex Dominguez. Able to battle back to a 7th, Mr. Jason Bagagilia at gmail.com.
And we all doubted him.
Yes. But he was able to finish ahead of the 4 other cars that started tonight's race. Guilherme Silva, Brian Boussard, Oliver Cordell, our crossover episode contestant, and Karen Maxon.
And we're hearing some chatter on the team radio at the moment from Andres Camilo Guerra Ibanez regarding his incident with Michael Clanis that we saw there in the final turn of the corner. Speaking to our pit lane correspondent now, we see Ibanez. He says that he's sorry to Michael and that his brake pedal had failed at that point, which sounds like a hardware issue that no man but Corey Barrett should have to contend with.
Right. He continues to express his apologies, but I don't think I would want to hear it. His brakes seem to work fine in the next corner, so not sure why they quit working right when he got to my bumper. It would be my thoughts if I was Michael, but
You may never know.
he'll have a long time to think about that on the flight back across the pond to California tonight. So the top 5, not what he probably hoped for, but still a solid result.
Yep, solid entertainment, solid enjoyment all around here from this episode of Bottom Split Theatre.
Yeah, a lot of great racing as always, and I hope everyone enjoyed it, and come back next week for next week's episode.
Thank you to Alex Albert for commentating and Mrs. Michael Darby for working the cameras and queuing up the replays. And see you all next week. Good night from me.